Hi everyone. So I am not going to be saying hi and saying welcome back to the Kilcon 178 show because I am straight up upset. And you want to know what it is? The thing that you see right here. So did you hear the news? Kiara is going to be in the new Mufasa the live action prequel, or should I say sequel. And I just cannot believe this, guys. There is going to be some stuff that is really going to make me upset. And I'm going to rant about this whole entire thing. So let's begin. So, what I've heard in the news about Kiara is going to be in Mufasa the Lion King is that Timon and Pumbaa are going to be telling the story about Mufasa to Kiara and Rafiki. That's something that does not make any sense to me. Why is Kiara going to be in Mufasa the Lion King? Did I say something back in my previous video about Mufasa the live action Lion King movie is going to be a sequel? Well, turns out I was right. This movie is not a prequel at all. This movie does not feel like anything like a prequel, guys. Kiara being in Mufasa the Lion King, that doesn't work. Disney, you're making a prequel movie, and you thinking that it would be a good idea of Kiara being in the live action Lion King movie? No, that does not make any sense. Did we all even ask for Kiara to be in the movie? Probably not, because them thinking that it's a good idea of Mufasa and Scar not being brothers and Kiara being in the movie, you think that's a good idea?
I don't think so.
And this goes to show you guys that how awful that this movie is going to be. I really have a bad feeling that when this movie comes out, it's really gonna immediately flop. It's gonna flop like the live-action Little Mermaid movie and Elemental and other live-action Disney movies, because this goes to show you that we did not ask for more live-action movies. I thought that the short film they did, Once Upon a Studio, I think that was great because it goes to show you that they brought back 2D animation, and I thought we would get more. But no, they decided to go back to the old 3D CGI stuff again, and they thought that they could just go back to it. But no, that's not what we want anymore, Disney. We want animation back. I really said this in my Why Am I Worried About Mufasa live action Lion King movie like a year ago. I just said that none of us don't want live action movies anymore. We don't want this type of stuff anymore. We just want 2D animation back. We want more Shenzi and Banzai and Ed. These guys right here, Disney, these guys right here, this is what we care about, not Mufasa. We care about these guys. I even have a shirt of them that says Wrap It Up. That's what I care about. Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed. These guys really are important in the Lion King franchise now because nowadays none of us don't talk about him anymore. Not even their son Janja. We just want to know like the origin story of Janja. Like, and if we want to know if we get a Lion Guard season 4, but turns out we're never gonna have that because when this movie comes out, it's going to immediately flop, and that is just one of the most frustrating things to talk about because when I heard that Mufasa and Scar are not gonna be brothers, that doesn't make sense at all. Like, they were always brothers in the first movie. In Mufasa the Lion King, I've heard that Mufasa is actually an orphan cub. An orphan cub? That does not make any sense at all. Didn't he just talk about his father from the very first movie from 1994?
Simba, let me tell you something that my father told me. Look at the stars, the great kings of the past.
Yes, that's that iconic scene in Lion King 1. That is the most iconic scene in Lion King 1. He just talked about his father in the very first movie. Did they just forget about everything about the Lion King franchise? Because I think Disney just forgotten the whole storyline in the franchise. They just forgotten everything about Lion King. They literally took everything we knew about the very first movie and just threw it out the window and just forgotten everything. Most things about the hyenas and just everything else related to Lion King. And that's just sad. It's really sad to see Disney like this. Making more CGI live action movies that do not work, it won't work at all. Because when Mufasa the Lion King comes out, it's going to immediately flop. Because I can really tell that this movie is going to flop, guys. This is going to be very bad for Disney's company and pretty much the Lion King fan base itself. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, talks about these guys behind me. I'm really the only one that has to talk about Shenzi and Banzai Net throughout the franchise, and nobody just talks about them anymore. Not even their kids, Janja, Cheesy, and Chungu. Nobody doesn't even talk about Lion Guard. Not even Janja and Cheesy and Chungu and their origins. Not even Shenzi and Banzai Net. I want the funny Shenzi, Disney. The Shenzi from back then, from the live action version from 2019, that wasn't my Shenzi. This one right here, this is my Shenzi. This is the funny one that I want. I want funny Shenzi, funny Bonsai, funny Ed. That's the funny ones that I want, not these dark humor ones. I don't want that 2019 Shenzi anymore. Give me Whoopi Goldberg's Shenzi. That's the comedic Shenzi. That's the funny one that I remember because that's nostalgic. That's nostalgia that hits hard right there because that's what we want. Our childhood. We want something that's related to our childhood. But no, you're just going to instead ruin the franchise, Disney. Disney has completely ruined everything, and I mean everything to their franchise. They just ruined the Lion King franchise for us. They've ruined the storyline and everything. Mufasa being an orphan cub, Mufasa and Scar not being brothers, and Kiara's going to be in the live action prequel. Well, let me say that's the opposite. This movie is an opposite version of a prequel. It's a sequel. Like I said before, I have a bad feeling that this movie was going to be a sequel. And it turns out, it's a sequel. It's not a prequel at all. Kiara being in the movie, that makes it a sequel. Like, if Disney would have made this movie like a prequel, make it feel like a prequel, like, oh yes, Orphan First Kill. That's the movie that was a prequel to, The First Orphan. Because I thought that movie was awesome because it shows us like how Esther, it shows us Esther's first kill about the family that was in the fire and she burned the whole house down. That's one thing I remember in Orphan First Kill. Like, make it feel like a prequel like Orphan First Kill was. But I don't think that's never gonna happen anymore. It's a straight up sequel by having Kiara put into the picture of Mufasa the Lion King. This is a straight up sequel, and I'm really not happy about this. I'm really sorry that I have to rant on about this movie, but I am just upset with Disney and not listening to the Lion King fans. Not even to their fans. They just want 2D animation back. But turns out they won't have it back because they're just going to go down to downhill and just give us CGI animation. One thing I'm excited for is Kung Fu Panda 4 because it's going to have more Spider-Verse inspiration animation because that got me more excited because I'm really excited for Kung Fu Panda 4 because when it comes out on March 8th, I'm definitely going to watch it because I'm more excited for DreamWorks, guys. I'm more excited for DreamWorks than Disney. I'm sorry, but I just really have no hope for the Lion King franchise. This goes to show you that Disney just has no bright future to their franchise. Not even the hyenas. I really don't see Shenzi and Banzai and Ed having a movie or a show of their own because nobody just listens to us. Nobody listens to us. Thanks a lot, Disney. You have ruined our childhood.